Hey Sandra, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal. I just wanted to get on this Zoom because we were having a conversation about what?
Um, I don't know exactly where you want me to start, but long story short, we have been in business for over 3 years, helping business owners plan for their retirement. After researching, doing a lot of research and figuring out how we can really and truly help, because one of the problems is that we would help business owners and put together their retirement, and then they would kind of start pinching. I would just call it pinching off of their plans and not putting, really respecting themselves and putting themselves first. They would start nickel and diamond and not putting the big contributions that they might have had in the past to contribute to their retirement. So basically, that money was flowing. They were able to contribute heavily to their retirement plans, and life was good. Sometimes business owners, they have money that comes in seasonally. And so with that, then they would stop putting money into it. Um, and we notice that happens, around Christmas time or close to Christmas, back to school time, as kids were going to college or things like that. So we were figuring out how we could help these business owners just to create some normalcy for themselves. Most of the time, most business owners have gone from a 9 to 5 and then decided that they wanted to be an entrepreneur. And it is really, really rough if you don't know when your next paycheck is coming in.
Well, let me ask you a question. So, the entrepreneurs that you've experienced working with that went from a 9 to 5 to their own business, did they quit their 9 to 5 to run their own business?
Some did. Some decided, hey, life is good. I'm just going to bet on myself. And the time that I had been giving to somebody else, I wanted to give to myself. And if I dedicated the hours I was giving to somebody else to myself, I would be successful.
So, do you think they were making the same amount of money in their personal business that they were at their job, or did they just make the leap with the mindset that if I gave the same amount of time, then I can easily make the same
I
or
think
not more money?
I think we have a combination of both. We have some that were just trying to meet what they were getting on a monthly basis. And once they got there, they're like, okay, I've made it. I can do this. And there are some that, given changes in the environment, it's healthy for them just to kind of walk away and say, I can do this on my own and betting on themselves. So we have a combination of both.
Okay, so based on so you're already going into their experience, what working with these kind of clients has led you to create, and what was that?
Right. So I participated in the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small
Oh,
Business Program and
congratulations!
just graduated. Thank you.
All right.
And one of the biggest things that we had to do was to come up with a growth plan.
Okay.
And anytime you're starting a business, you have got to solve a problem. It's not, oh, I've got this great product, or I can sing. I know somebody wants me to sing for them. You have to be solving a problem. And so when we looked internally and figured out what problem we could solve for people, it was the cash flow. Um, Really, a lot of entrepreneurs.
Hold on before you go on. You said cash flow. What problem did you want to solve for the cash flow?
So I want to eradicate um, profitability. I mean, poverty. That's what it is, not profitable. Poverty among small business owners. A lot of us have gone through a period in which they could not pay themselves. And even if they hired people, they were paying their employees more than they were actually paying themselves.
Okay.
Um, And so that's what we were doing.
And your, what is it called with the Goldman Sachs 10,000 program you participated in?
You are to
Okay.
create a growth plan.
Okay.
So the growth plan was to solve the problem of the poverty that small business owners feel. And
Okay.
that's what we're doing.
And how are you doing that?
So by implementing fractional CFO services, which
Oh,
works
hold on
on,
1 second. 1 second. Okay, but so when you were finally able to have a heart-to-heart conversation
yes,
with a business owner that last year generated 7 figures, in excess of 7 figures,
yes,
correct?
yes.
So tell me about that.
So, we had a heart to heart with somebody. And if you know anything, if you've ever had a conversation with me, you know that I am always on your team. I am always trying to help you to succeed. And if anything I can do to help you, if that is resources, is that help me, rolling up my sleeves, that's what I'm going to do. And so the young lady called and said, they couldn't afford something at this time, which was a retirement plan that we had set up for them. And
Over
I
2 years
kind
ago,
of
right?
over 2 years ago,
Okay.
and really understood that, and we kind of were dancing around the whole thing. But really, she
I want to
finally,
get clear on something. You said you're dancing around the whole thing. What do you mean dancing around?
meaning, we stopped payments, skipped a month, just kind of, she
When you
just
say
said,
when you say
"Hmm."
we, they stop payments or
They
skip.
stopped their
Okay.
payments. They asked us to put a pause on one and skip a month, and they would double up or whatever, or we would get notifications that their payment didn't go through.
So why
Um,
would that happen?
that would happen because there wasn't enough cash in the account.
So they had more month than money.
Exactly.
Right.
More
And it's
month
cash
than
flow
money.
issues that most business owners have. And
Yes.
what do you think is the biggest reason why a business owner making in excess of 7 figures would have cash flow issues?
So one of the biggest reasons is most people just have all of their money in one account. And not taking the time to allocate the funds accordingly. So even in your personal life, you should have more than one account. I know that like back in the day, people were like, okay, every time you get your paycheck, you should put aside 10%, 5%, whatever it is, you would put that money aside. But that's like for your rainy day. And what we
Isn't it raining
decided,
right now?
it's always raining if you don't have no money, right?
Right.
So, and most of the time, people have enough revenue, money that's coming into their account, but it's how much are you actually keeping? How
Right.
much are you putting aside for your taxes? How much are you putting aside for your to pay yourself? How much money of profit are you putting aside for every dollar that comes into your account? It should have a purpose, whether it's taxes, whether it's insurance, it's paying yourselves a bonus, a growth opportunity. All of those things are very important and they should have a purpose for each dollar.
So based on the taxes, the profit, the owner's comp, the operating expenses, so there should be a separate account for each of those?
Yes, it should be. So, how many of you have gone and looked at your bank account and said, "Oh, I got $10,000," and then the next day you look and it's down to five, and then the next day you look, it's down to two, and you're like, "Wait a minute, I was going to do something with that money." But if
Right.
you're going into an account and you're just looking at, if you go through and do the allocations and you have um, I'm looking at my operating account. I know how much money I have. If I'm looking at a business to acquire another business, I have my money put aside for my growth opportunity in which I can go and get another complementary business. I can sit down at the table and know what I'm working with. If I decided that I wanted to give bonuses this year, I'm looking at my profit account and determining how much I can give to my employees, how much I can give to myself instead of having to look at one account and you gave out bonuses of $5,000 to each of your employees and then you don't have any money. So
Okay. Okay. So what was the call that you had earlier this week frustrating or liberating?
No, it is very liberating because I want to come in and help. So, as stated earlier, rolling up your sleeves, figuring out. And when you think about helping somebody, it's not just coming in and telling them what to do, it's really figuring out where they are and how you can walk them through to a better path. And sometimes with some of our business owners, we are ripping the band-aid off, and there are others that we have to guide and just say, hey, let's walk this path. This is where you are. This is where we want to get. And it may take a year to get there. It may just take 3 months, but actually feeling good when you're waking up in the morning, knowing that you have a plan in place is liberating.
Okay. Do you have any final words you'd like to leave for any future business owners that you are beginning the process to work with? What words would you like them to echo in their mind before they even begin working with you?
I think what I would say is just to be honest with yourself and understand that it's a process. Like I said, most of the time, you didn't get in this predicament overnight. And we want to continue to support our small business owners. And so most of you have gotten into business because you are passionate about something and you don't even care about your numbers. It's just the feeling that you get from helping somebody or servicing or selling your product. And so allow me and my team the ability to help you to understand the numbers and to make sure that we get you to your $1 million retirement.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing with us this afternoon, Sandra. Appreciate it. And you have a great night.
Thank you.